Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we'll be looking at leadership styles. Alright, so what are leadership styles? These are really, styles in which a leader chooses to display their direction, motivation of people, and implementation of plans. Right? So next up, we'll be looking at types of leadership styles. Now, types of leadership styles. Let's run right through it. First up, democratic. Second, authoritarian. Third, laissez-faire. Right? So first, we'll be looking at all of these in detail. So first, we're going to be looking at democratic. Right? So democratic leadership. What is this? This is a leadership style in which members of a group can participate in making decisions. Right? For example, America. Now, let me get more in detail in these. In democratic leadership, information and ideas pass between the leader and the members of the group, right? So, members have a role in decision making within the group, right? And there is some delegation of authority from the leaders to the group members. But there's a heightened sense of unity and members feel more involved and closely connected to the group, right? As a result, they respond with higher level of commitment, right? So that's democratic leadership. And you can also call it participative leadership as well. All right. So next up, we'll be looking at authoritarian, right? Or autocratic leadership, right? So this is where a leader makes all or most decisions with a little or no input from members of the group. For example, Cuba or China. Right? This style of leadership is typified by a one-way flow of information from the leader to the group members, right? Ideas which inform leaders' action and intentions are not always made clear, right? And consideration of suggestions or desires from the group are not usually a part of the leader's decision-making process, right? So autocratic leaders delegate very little or no authority, right? So next up, we'll be looking at laissez-faire. Laissez-faire, what is this? Okay, this is where the leader of a group leaves the members of the group to take charge and make their own decisions. Well, simply put, laissez-faire leaders give very little direction to the group and members are left to establish their own means of fulfilling their obligations or meeting, particular goals, right? So that's laissez-faire for you, all right? So next up, we'll be looking at characteristics of a good leader, right? So first, we'll be looking at strength of character, right? So, what is strength of character? A leader shows strength of character if and when difficult decisions have to be made or sanctions have to be applied, right? Now, group members will respect a leader, who is able to stand firm in the face of opposition and who can, steer the group through difficult circumstances. That is strength of character, right? So next up, we'll be looking at charisma, right? What is charisma? Some individuals are naturally able to, inspire others with a sense of enthusiasm and consequently, with a willingness to follow them, right? Now, this characteristic enables a leader to motivate members to achieve the group's goal, right? So that's charisma, right? So that's needed in a group. So we're going to look at next, integrity. What is this? All right, integrity is the next a very important one, right? So a leader needs to operate with integrity and be ready to stick to his or her principles, right? Very important. Now, members should trust that the leader is always honest with them and with the parties and organizations, right? Integrity is enhanced if there is transparency and accountability, right? Now, transparency means having operations and procedures that are open to, inspections and therefore less likely to be corrupt, right? Most of these countries within the Caribbean need to learn that. Now, accountability is to do with a person or persons accepting responsibility for actions, decisions, and policies, right? Now, the leadership is, accountable to the members on whose behalf decisions have been made. So, integrity is very important, and that's integrity for you, right? Right. So, next up, we'll have self-motivation. What is this? Leaders need to be able to motivate other people by stimulating their interests and encouraging them to act in a way that help towards, meeting objectives, right? They also need self-motivation where the drive to succeed comes from inside themselves. So that's very important, right? So next up, we'll have commitment. This is the last one, but it's very important. Leaders have to be committed to the group, right? And to its members. This means that they are, dedicated to the goal for which a group has formed and are, determined to see the group succeed as a means of, achieving that goal, right? So if you might understand what all this means, strength of character was another good one. I know I should have gone more on it, but but all of them are very good, characteristics of leadership. But they're just some I have to, point out, right? So good leadership is an important factor in maintaining group cohesion, but it also helps a group to function more efficiently and to experience greater success in meeting its goal, right? The different styles of, leadership described, right? That we spoke about before. They all have advantages and disadvantages, right? But like a democratic style is mostly likely to, produce a high level of cooperation from members, right? Whatever style of leadership is adopted, a leader's personal, characteristics and range of skill also influence how successful he or she is in that role, right? Okay, guys, so that's it for my video. Thanks for watching. Next, we'll be looking at skills of a good leader. That's in the next video. We'll be looking at that. So thanks for subscribing, guys. If you like my video, you can give a thumbs up, you can like, and you can share my videos to persons who are doing the same subject and persons who need the help. Okay, so as I said before, like, subscribe, and you can leave a comment if there's something you'd like me to discuss. Okay, thank you, guys.